Hello, healthcare finance students. Here we are at week 3 in some very strange times indeed, times that we will never forget the COVID-19 situation. I'm assuming many of you are at home. I know some of you are healthcare workers on the front line, nurses, other allied health professionals, and are working extra hours in there. I also know some of you are administrators and are working from home, but definitely a lot of changes have happened in our life over the past few weeks. I hope everybody is safe. I hope your family is safe and all of your loved ones are doing well throughout this. And hopefully you're maintaining your sanity in all of this this change. Change can be very unsettling. You know, you have your the matrix of your life and how things are put together, and you go to work and you come home and you go grocery shopping and you take the kids to school, and all these patterns now have been disrupted. And when we are creatures of pattern, and when those patterns are disrupted, it can cause uneasiness until we establish new patterns. So that's something that I'm trying to do, is establish those new patterns to get through this and maintain some sanity in all of that. So, all right, well, let's talk a little bit about what we're doing this week. This is kind of a busy week in the class when you look at the module, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed. So let's jump into the module real quick. But before we do that, the reason I was on this landing page, I wanted, again, just to reemphasize what we're doing with the home page of the course. So make sure that you're watching these videos. Whenever I post one of my new videos in here, make sure that you watch it. You can tell they're new videos because I'm, sporting the beard. So my shelter-in-place beard. So make sure you're stop by and watch those videos. I'm also I'm bringing back what I call homework help. So you'll notice some older videos in here that I'll be posting. A few of you reached out to me about some homework difficulties, and I thought, I'd made these videos before, and to bring those back, hopefully they'll be pretty, helpful. I may pretty much help set up the problems for you. So you may want to take a look at the videos. Just remember the learning activities. They come from the book, obviously, okay, and so the answers, the processes for doing those are found within the textbook. The textbook can be very complicated. It is not my favorite textbook, but it does the job. And I've mentioned this before, that we use the same book for 2 classes, and it's not perfect, but it does save students money by using one book for both our accounting and our finance classes. So it's an imperfect solution, but one that does work. But so you can always find the solution or the process in the textbook, even though it's maybe very difficult. Then within the modules, I have lectures, and those lectures usually are directly related to the questions that will be asked. I try not to, occasionally there might be 1 or 2, but usually I'm not going to pull a question that we haven't gone through lecture-wise. So there's that. And then also, here's your third piece. So you got the textbook, you got the lectures, and now you got homework help. So in homework help there, down below, like you see here, with Module 3, I did put one out for Module 2 as well, that, directly setting up and kind of setting up the problems for you for the week. So take a look at that. Hopefully those resources should help reduce your anxiety with some of this financy math stuff. And remember, as we're going through these lectures, I'm introducing these online calculators. Use those online calculators, okay? They are, very, hopefully very intuitive. I think we introduce about 3 different online calculators. You might find one that you like the best. But the learning curve is pretty minimal on all of these things, on these calculators, versus a traditional standalone calculator, or does anybody even buy those anymore, or even a complicated financial calculator app that you can get for your phone, these online ones do a pretty good job. The other thing to mention with those calculators is that since they pretty much do all the work for you, the and you know, we're not here to worry about all the busy math part of it. You know, if you got the calculator, if the tool's available, let's use the tool. Okay. In the homework or learning activities, you have to show your answer. You know, and some of you got a few points off if you just gave me an answer and you didn't show me how you set it up, didn't show me what interest rate or number of periods or whatever, didn't show me basically the inputs that you put into the calculator. You know, I really don't know if you just found that answer online. You know, and you know, the dark web can be a wonderful source for a lot of mysterious things. So please stay away from the dark web. But the you know, to be honest with you, I'm sure all the answers are out there somewhere on the dark web, because the publisher has had this book out for now about almost 3 years. So I'm sure they're out there. So you know, you can find the raw answer, but I want to see how you set up the answer. So the best thing to do, and I mentioned it in some of the lectures too, is screenshot the calculator. Okay, so whatever, if you're using that screenshot, you know, all of you should know how to do a screenshot, whether it's on a Mac or PC. If you don't, just Google it. There's a super easy way to do it. And screenshot that, take that picture and drop it right into your Word document, and that's all I need. So there you go. So that's how you show your work using those online calculators, is a screenshot. All right, so homework help, screenshots to show your work, to get all the points for the learning activities. Make sure you're staying up to breast on any videos up here, any updates that I have, usually weekly, usually on Mondays. And then answers for learning activities I will post down here. So, you know, scroll all the way down. You got these areas: homework help, learning activities, and kind of our weekly update videos. All right, so there we go. There is that. Let's go and jump into the module and talk about what we're doing this week. And for those of you that are hanging on with me, you're going to get a special treat. So stay tuned. All right, so we're in Module 3, long-term debt financing. You know, a lot of a very popular mechanism for healthcare institutions is long-term debt financing. So this is kind of an important area to know about. You have a case study, okay? Don't freak out, okay? You got, it's not due until April 12th, but I want to introduce it this week so you can kind of start percolating on it. Some of you may want to go ahead and start working on it. That would be great. But take a look at it and, you know, kind of read through the case and start thinking about some ideas. You got 4 questions to answer. Each question needs to have a full paragraph. A full paragraph is about 5 sentences. If you want to, you know, put a little chart, a little table in there, that's fine. Totally up to you. Some students do that, especially with the second part of the case study, but it's up to you. But don't let the chart or the table substitute for a full paragraph of narrative. All right. I want to hear you talk about this thing. And the other thing is that a lot of folks have anxiety about the right answer. And I'm going to say this over and over and over again for this course, is that I'm really not all twisted up about the correct answer. Okay. So for the case study, I'm not, you know, again, not looking for perfect numbers on when we have to do number things here. I'm looking for process. And the same thing with the learning activities. Many of you got full points for the learning activities and didn't have one correct answer. Okay. I could see that you were just about there, made some mysterious math error that I couldn't figure out, but you know, so you can definitely get almost all the points, if not all the points, and not have a one correct answer. And the same thing for the case studies. But I do want to see process, critical thinking. You know, don't mail it in. Really offer me take some time and think about it and put your thoughts down there. I want to see how you think about things. And hopefully how you think about things is being shaped by the material as you go through over the next 8 weeks. And, you know, that shows that we're actually, you know, changing, revealing different perspectives on healthcare finance and peeling that onion back, and you're able to talk about it more knowledgeably. And I want to see that knowledge come through in these case studies. Okay, so there you go. Don't get all twisted up about the perfect correct answer. And remember, this isn't due for a few weeks. So, but start thinking about it now. All right, so let's go back to the module again. It's the case study. People always panic when they see that one. All right, so we've got the case study learning activity, same old, same old. I'm not going to beat that. You've now got like 3 resources to help you with those learning activities. Okay, textbook, homework help, lecture videos. Don't go to the 4th one, the dark web. Okay. And then, as I promised you, for those that have hung on for today's video, you're going to get a special treat. But let's go to the extra credit. So I'm going to, in this course, I've peppered sporadically extra credit. So, and it's in the lectures. So I'll pose a little question to you in the lectures. Again, if you see that happen in a lecture, that's your reward for watching a lecture, I guess. And you'll have an opportunity to earn some extra credit. So that's going to be popping up a couple times. Not necessary that you do it. So don't feel like you have to do it. If you didn't, if you didn't catch it in the lecture, and they're kind of hard not to catch because I kind of stop the lecture and tell you here's the extra credit. But it's there for you if you want it. Okay. And you can turn that in at any time. It doesn't have to be turned in right away. So you can turn it in the last day of the course if you feel like you need those 10 extra points. Most students don't. They already have the A locked in, or they got the B, whatever grade they want, and they don't want the extra 10 points. Up to you. All right. Midterm. Now here's where the panic bells go off, and oh my God, midterm. So this course, obviously we've had no quizzes, in this course so far. So there's a lot of like, what's the midterm going to look like? Well, if you've hung on this far in today's lecture, or in today's update video for Module 3, I'm going to show you a few questions from the midterm. There you go. And they're legit questions. So get your camera ready, turn on your screen capturing software, pull out your phone. You can have these questions, okay? I'm not going to give you the answers, but you can have the questions. All right, let's take a look at it, because my intent here is I want you to see the level of question. Before you hit that start button, there's what are these things going to look like? Are they going to be essay? Are they going to be multiple choice? Well, I tell you they're multiple choice, but how crazy are they going to be? Well, I think you're going to find they're really reasonable. And you're going to want to have those online calculators, ready to go that you've been using, throughout in those learning activities. Okay. All right. So let's take a look. We'll grab some random questions so you can see what these look like. All right. So obviously it's going to be information in modules 1 through 3, chapters 9 through 11. Okay. So it's this week's material as well. You have 30 questions, 180 minutes, guys, 3 hours. Okay, I don't think you're going to be sitting there for 3 hours. Nobody ever does. Most people finish this in about 60 minutes. But you got plenty of time if you really want to do it. All right, so here we go. Here's a question. Number 1. I promised you we'll do 5. Oh, it's 4. We'll do 5. We'll do 5 questions. Question 1. What is the future value of a 5-year ordinary annuity? Okay, you've got that one. We've gone over that. Future value, ordinary annuity. Question 2. I'll scroll slowly so you guys can capture these questions with your phone or screenshots. Question 2. What is the present value of a lump sum received in 5 years if the opportunity cost rate is 10%? Okay, throwing in some terms in there, not using necessarily interest rate, but using opportunity cost rate. But you guys know that, right? Okay, so there you go. A present value lump sum question. Future value lump sum question. Question 3. What is the future value of a lump sum of a $100 lump sum invested for 5 years in an account paying 10% interest? Okay. Easy, not too bad. Okay, this is very manageable stuff here, guys. The time value of money stuff, which you should be pretty good with. If you buy a 6-year 8% savings certificate or CD for for $1,000, if interest is compounded annually, what will its value be at maturity? Okay. All right. And notice the questions are the numbers are pretty spaced out. So if you're, off by, if your, calculator has a 10% differential, 10 cents differential, or you're off by $1, you can still tell which answer it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, you don't have to really sweat it too much if you've got, whatever it might be. All right, question 5, and that'll be it. I only promised you 5 questions. So if a company is offering a perpetual preferred stock, okay, its dividend payments last forever in perpetuity, okay, with a fixed annual dividend of $100, if you require a rate of return of investment of 12%, what is the value of each share? Okay, we talked about preferred stock, that perpetuity concept in there. That should be a pretty easy one for you to handle. Okay, so those are the type of questions that you're going to see throughout here. You'll have 30 of those, not too terribly difficult, but you will need to have your calculator at hand when you get into these things. All right, so there you go. There was your 5 questions that I promised you from that. All right, so that let's go back to Module 3. That pretty much covers everything for Module 3. I'll post the answers in by tomorrow for Module 2 learning activity. I've got a couple students who still need to turn that in, and then I'll post the answers for that. Look for that on our home page. Okay, we're driving everything back to that home page for that stuff. So make sure you check that out. And again, if there's anything that I can do, don't hesitate to reach out. You've been pretty quiet so far, so just again, don't hesitate to contact me should you need any help. Thanks, everybody. Everybody have a great week and stay safe.